Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm meteorologist Jessica Blum here in the 1011 Alert Center to talk about the coming days and what we have issued for weather alert days coming around the corner. We are going to get windy as we get warmer on Wednesday. But first, tonight, I wanted to talk to you about the weather alert days we have issued for Friday and Saturday, the coldest air of the season. We thought that just happened this past weekend. No, it is actually on the way for the end of this week into the early portions of the weekend. I think the coldest day of the season will turn out to be this Friday. Morning low temperatures below zero, which we have yet to see yet this winter season. Our lowest temperature so far still at zero, so we have not dropped below zero for an actual air temperature. We have seen below zero wind chills, which will be the case probably throughout the day on Friday. Still very cold throughout Saturday as well, with a high temperature maybe only doubling by Saturday up to 10 degrees. But namely, the dangerous wind chills will be anywhere from about 15 to 35 below in eastern Nebraska on Friday, and in particular, Friday morning. So we have that to prepare you for as we get toward the end of this week. This is the main weather headline going forward. There is going to be a small chance of any snow in southern Nebraska Friday into Saturday. It's not going to amount to much, but something we're keeping an eye on to get on some of those more finer details as we get closer to the end of this week. But for now, as I'm talking to you here this Tuesday evening, just beyond 8 o'clock, January 20th, this is your forecasted low temperatures across the state for Friday morning, waking up to actual air temperatures 5 to 15 below. Warming barely above zero in portions of southeast Nebraska, maybe not getting above zero in Norfolk, Wayne, O'Neill, with maybe a high sub-zero. And then you look at the far reaches of the Panhandle, Scottsbluff, Chadron, maybe getting up to 10, 11 degrees. Now, low temperatures as we head into the beginning portions of the weekend are going to fall back below zero once again. Will likely be around 5 to 10 below zero statewide, but the wind will ease up on Saturday. We're not talking about a ton of wind, but enough wind when we're this cold to make for dangerous wind chills from the time frame of late Thursday night throughout Friday and into the first part of Saturday. So let me step you through that. This is your future feels like temperatures across the state starting Thursday night around 10 o'clock. We're at 6 degrees on Lincoln, but you see these temperatures tank, and we're waking up to wind chills Friday morning, 20 to 25 below. Not out of the question for the Lincoln area. Those kids getting ready for school will want to be safe and be bundled for sure, as frostbite does not happen, or frostbite can happen in a little time in conditions like this. It takes less time for frostbite to happen. In fact, I think it's about 15 below, in which frostbite can happen in as little as 30 minutes. Northeast Nebraska really sticks out. 30, 35. This model hinting at Wayne maybe getting closer to 40 degrees below zero early portions of the morning, right before school, the time where a lot of us are getting ready for work as well. Then once we head toward the afternoon and some of the warmest portions of the day, only warming to around 10 to 15 below zero, 18 below zero still in some spots. So throughout the day, Friday is expected to feel below zero, no matter what time of the day you're talking about. 10 o'clock still looking much the same as the afternoon, running 10 to 20 below for a wind chill. And then into Saturday morning, we're not dipping back into those wind chills 20, 30 below. We're staying around 5, 15, maybe some portions of the state around 20 below. So that takes you through 7 a.m., This is going to reload because I accidentally clicked off of it. But once we go towards Saturday afternoon, I think that's our first indication after this Arctic air surges through Nebraska that we'll start to feel a little bit better with a feels like temperature finally positive in southeast Nebraska by Saturday afternoon, but not by much. So as of Tuesday evening, here are our dangerous cold alerts that have been issued for portions of the state. Right now, just several counties in northeast Nebraska around Norfolk and to the north. That is an extreme cold watch you're looking at that will be in effect late Thursday night through Friday morning, talking about January 22nd through the 23rd. For wind chills that'll be as low as 30 to 35 below during that time frame. So again, the coldest, I think, of this coldest air of the season I've been talking about will really be felt Friday morning, throughout the day on Friday, but still cold for Saturday as well. Then we come back to kind of current conditions. Talking about your Tuesday, our low temperatures did fall to the single digits, but we are all above zero, and this is going to feel pretty good comparatively toward the end of the week. We'll be kind of wishing for some of these temperatures, I think, but I wanted to quickly note that Wayne fell down to zero. That is Runza territory, and I think they were the ones that helped Runza for Temperature Tuesday be free with your purchase of, I think it's a medium fry and drink, something like that. So kind of fun for Tuesday to know that temperatures did drop to zero somewhere for a good deal on some food. Might as well get something if we're going to be dealing with some cold temperatures at this time of the year. I love that Runza does that, and we love fun things connected to the weather, of course. As for your full Lincoln Weather Almanac for today, we did get up to 38 degrees in the capital city. That's only a couple degrees off of average for this time of the year. So pretty seasonal Tuesday. We'll get a little warmer on Wednesday. Going to show you that. That'll come with some wind, though, before temperatures will cool off a little bit into Thursday, kind of similar to today, and still be seasonal before the floor kind of falls out by Friday. As for Lincoln Skyview, looking at pretty cloudy conditions over here at home, just at 10 o'clock tonight. We're at 30 degrees. We've dropped a couple degrees from the past hour. It does feel like 19 degrees with a bit of a northeasterly breeze at times tonight that will make it feel rather chilly, but again, nowhere near the dangerous cold, the bitter cold we're going to see by the end of this week. Southeast Nebraska temperatures range from the upper 20s to the lower 30s, middle 30s towards Superior, Hastings, and Red Cloud. But Lincoln, again, you're sitting at 38 degrees. We got 28 in David City, 27 right now in the Omaha Metro. Not sure why every location isn't loading in on the map at this point, but still 40 degrees in Kearney, 44 in McCook, and enough of a wind at times to produce a wind chill in the teens in northwest Nebraska, even here in Lincoln, 19, 17 in Tekamah, with some of this cloud cover. You'll see areas of snow showers have tried to populate on radar over the past 4 hours. This isn't much if it's making it to the ground, maybe a few flurries in northeast Nebraska. The better forcing has been off to our north and west through portions of Iowa. They've been seeing a little bit more snow today, but here at home, not too much to ride home about. In fact, our cloud cover will be decreasing as we go into the overnight hours and start out Wednesday with a lot of sunshine, mostly sunny skies through the day. I think we'll have some passing clouds, though, late morning through the afternoon hours as another system will drop another cold front. It's interesting because this disruptive weather pattern we're in is just continually sending cold fronts through the state, but a lot of them are dry frontal passages, meaning we're not having a great chance at widespread precipitation because the air is still rather dry. It just kind of picks up the wind occasionally behind it, so we are anticipating those winds to come up tomorrow afternoon and gust out of the northwest anywhere from 40, 45, maybe 50 and 55 miles an hour for areas across eastern Nebraska especially. Your Lincoln Schaefer's forecast at 9 o'clock, we should be around 28 degrees, mostly cloudy skies still by then, but clearing overnight so that we start out with mostly clear skies by 7 o'clock tomorrow. A seasonal start given that our average low temperatures at this time of the year are in the middle teens, and we should drop around 19 degrees tomorrow, and then an afternoon temperature warming to the middle 40s, but that does come with a lot of wind tomorrow. So it will be warmer for a day or so on Wednesday. We'll drop back to seasonal temperatures on Thursday, and then, again, very cold for Friday and Saturday. There's a look at your low temperatures for tomorrow across the state. A lot of us will be in the upper teens, lower 20s in southeast Nebraska. High temperatures outside of Lincoln warming closer to 50 degrees. Along the southern border, McCook may get to 50. Hebron and Imperial, it's within reach for you as well. Northern Nebraska will have a little bit harder time warming up, still maybe around freezing or a degree or so above that in Valentine, middle and upper 30s from Ainsworth, O'Neill over towards Chadron. And then a wind advisory for eastern Nebraska will be in effect from 10 a.m. through 6 p.m. Wednesday evening. So this is for eastern Nebraska experiencing wind gusts that could be as high as 50, 55 miles an hour during that time frame. You just have to kind of put an asterisk when we see these high wind alerts because, again, central, western Nebraska, they do not issue a wind advisory because they'd be issuing them all the time. So in an effort to not have a wind advisory in effect at all times. They only issue high wind warnings, which Eastern Nebraska, the National Weather Service out of Omaha, is not anticipating a high wind warning for a lot of us in Eastern Nebraska. There may be a few upgraded tomorrow, something we'll be watching for, but Lincoln likely going to stay in the wind advisory category as wind gusts approach maybe 50 miles an hour at times. I'll break it down for you hour by hour tomorrow. Gusts mid to late morning around 30 to 40 miles per hour, approaching 45 miles an hour by noon. And I think those wind gusts will get closer to 50 miles an hour between 1 and 4 o'clock, so namely the afternoon time frame, before gradually tapering off through Wednesday night and coming down a bit into your day on Thursday. So there's the seasonal look at a mostly cloudy day Thursday. Then morning temperatures Friday, again dropping down to a low of 5. We have yet to see, if you remember me saying that at the beginning of our live stream this evening, a low temperature below 0 in Lincoln. But you count them up on this 7-day forecast, we've got 3 chances to see morning low temperatures in the near future drop below 0, namely by Friday and Saturday mornings. Got a low temperature right around -5 for both of those days. The weather alert day that we have in effect is for the dangerous cold, as wind chills again will range from about 15 to 35 below in eastern Nebraska by Friday morning. Still around 10 to 15 below throughout Friday and into early portions of Saturday. Maybe only warming up to an actual air temperature of 10 on Saturday before we'll slowly warm up a little bit more on Sunday, not much. But 30s back to almost freezing Monday, and then middle 30s by next Tuesday. But yeah, I just got to show those Friday morning wind chills. This will burn, I think, for a lot of us that have any exposed skin. So be sure to pack the scarves, the gloves, warm up the car with plenty of time. Be prepared for these cold temperatures, as you won't want to get stuck in them. I know this is a good time of the year. We haven't seen very long Arctic outbreaks really in our neck of the woods, but we're talking the coldest area of the season, so make sure your car is prepared if you've got any long distances to travel on Friday, that you've got blankets, maybe some non-perishable food, things like that if your car were to break down, you would have the right resources for that. I think it's yeah, so just want to remind you about those wind chills Friday. Your extended forecast does keep a lot more high temperatures in the 20s and 30s through next week, but still looking dry, so the chance for any moisture is small at that over the next 10 days even. We just have 20% chances Friday and Saturday for a little bit of snow. Still working on whether that's going to accumulate much in southern Nebraska. We're going to kind of look into the finer details of that again as we get closer to the end of this week, so stay tuned for that. But for now, we just hope everyone stays safe. Again, be safe, be bundled through the end of this week. I was hibernating last Saturday, as you can imagine me talking about these temperatures now. You maybe won't see me for 2 days, but that's honestly just a joke because I have to go out to western Nebraska Friday and this weekend to see a friend out in Sydney. She finally had her first kid, and they're just lovely grown family now, so I got to go visit them. But if anybody else like me has got some travel plans by the end of this week, be sure to stay warm. Again, have the necessary precautions in place, and don't spend any prolonged periods outside if you really don't need to. Stay inside where it's warm. And make sure to tell family and friends that this is the case too, as we've been talking about this for several days, trying to get the word out there. But of course, word of mouth is great as well. But in the meantime, I hope everyone has a great Tuesday evening. We'll continue to dig into the forecast details. Of course, every day getting closer to the end of this week as well.
1011 News is everywhere. Download our smart TV apps and follow us on social media at 1011 News.